Okay, let's see if I can get the next 8 here. Okay. No, not all of these have I driven before or looked around or peeked at, but I remember this one. I'm going to kind of try to go a little slow around this one and go around this one a bit here, partly because all that black, it's really hard to just see how beautiful this thing is. But I think that's the right choice for this thing. But if I don't go around it too fast, as the light changes angles on that, it really highlights some of the really interesting shapes on this thing. So I think this thing is a beautiful, beautiful shapes here. But you really have to see how the light plays on it to see them. Now this, nice little shield covering the door there. Little gap around the shield. Stuff. It's a little narrow there, more than I'd like, but I'm wondering that with the widening out there, that even if you're on a hill, you might be able to at least get in one side or the other. I haven't tested that at all, but I'm guessing that, it'll have a little more tolerance. So, like many others, there's been some double and triple doors here, stuff, but this one actually has a little space in here. It's one of the ones where I'm looking at it. I think there might have been another one where there was enough space that you could have some O2 in there. I don't see any indications for O2 in there. We could probably hit the little thing and test it, but I have no reason to believe that there's OT in there. But it's got a big enough gap that you could. Okay, we have our nice little switch here. What we're going to do, get in here, and I'm going to take this for a spin like I was doing before. My goal here is to drive these things around and go for the ramps. Lots of engines on the back there. We are picking up speed fast, I think. Even though this is my first time taking this out for a spin, I haven't taken a look at the stats page yet, but I'm thinking, I'm confident we're going to clear the top of this thing. Ooh, in no time. I am free falling, and here we go. Now I'm going to go for the wall, like I've been doing for the others. At least if they cleared the vertical. Let's see. I feel like I can almost get the nose of this thing on here. Oh, it's so irritating. So irritating. I feel like it just wants to climb this wall. If I could just get a little better. Oh, I'm going. Oh, here we go. Up the wall. We made the transition. Okay, and now I'm falling again. Okay, no boosters, so we can skip that test. But entry number 9. Okay. Got some good acceleration here. But as you can see as I'm hitting the engines there, it's got some big old engines here. Okay, and let's see. Please stop the ship to exit the cockpit. Yes. Okay, we are stopped. And I am out of the cockpit. Double doors. Okay. Okay, let's keep track of where I am. If I'm not careful, I'm going to wander over to the other line and confuse things here. Okay. Now, when I first saw this one here, I like some of the shapes of it, but part of me wishes some of these were angles instead of blocks. Not that I want to move any of where any of the blocks are, but just shape them a little. That'd be my temptation, but that's just me. Stuff. Maybe there's reasons the blocks are preferred. Okay, maybe I just needed to step forward a little further. Another double door entry, but this case using a ramp to be one of the doors. And look how this first walked in here, and all this stuff opens up and reveals here's a passenger seating. A little different than the others, where they're just using the open seat. These actually use the closed seats, which among other things means if this area is breached, you wouldn't have to worry about the O2 while you're still sitting in your passenger seat. Okay, but my goal here is take this for a drive. Now it might have one of the closed cockpits, but it's also covered on top with armor, so I can't see out the windshield, so I'm gotta go ahead and do this third person. And I'm gonna have been doing that for for various reasons. Okay, and we're gonna go climb. We're going. Here we got the vertical. We're going up the vertical. No. Oh, come on. I think that was in part user error. I didn't keep the thing hovering off that surface. The way we're climbing there, I think that might have been a lot of momentum. That we're not. Yeah. If I'm climbing it, no. It was momentum. Momentum took me up there, but it's climbing everything else but that. Very good. Very good. Okay, there's no boosters on this thing, so no, it does not turn very fast. Guess that doesn't seem that way. Feels like decent acceleration, but it doesn't seem turn very fast. But again, I haven't, it's not like I have any specific thing to measure it. Probably would just look at the stats page and do that for comparison, but right now I am just doing this for the fun of a nice recreational and comparative drive. As I mentioned in the previous video, at some point I would love to put together a track where I actually take these things out for combat. I would actually be, in that case, probably most likely actually trying to destroy them. Having fun with it, yes. But the idea would be to take them, against lighter targets first, and then heavier and heavier until eventually they hit a target that is too much for them and obliterates or renders them inoperable or something of the sort. Now this one, I happen to be probably the most familiar with this one of all of these here, partly because, well, I built it. This happens to be my entry. As I believe I mentioned in the previous video, I probably would have cheated with one of my other builds if it had qualified for this challenge, but it did not. So I built my biggest tank yet, or my biggest HV yet, and the one that might actually be more tank than any of my others. Okay, I don't mind this view out the glass, but let's take a little better view of this way. Okay. Now, I've actually taken this thing up the ramp this way. So I'm not surprised that it clears this way. I knew it would. The thing I hadn't tested yet, because I was scared that a big old tank like this wouldn't be able to make the 90-degree transition. But Rucky pulled it off and mentioned it on the forums. So I'm like, well, if theirs, which is a little bit longer than mine, managed to pull this off, maybe mine can too. Oh, it's so tempting, tantalizing. Oh, here. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Finally got it. Just had to get it up on that angle, and then it climbed. I knew it would. If I could only... That was the concern I had. Like some of the others in the previous video. The big old tank... And that wasn't a very good landing on that. Big old tank, some of them, I cannot get them... Now the ramp, I've got the various gradients, you know, until you hit the vertical. So transitioning up to the vertical is not a problem. But to just hit that wall, you've got to take the thing from flat to vertical, and not all of the tanks do that. Okay, now this next one, the nice glowing red one right next to mine here. Oh, it is a beautiful tank there. That one I might do something extra with this. You know, I see some trees over there. Now, it may not be the most prudent thing to mow down some trees, but that blade on the front there, I just feel like I've got to mow down some trees. I have, and I'm not talking about the harvester module mowing down trees. I am talking literally mowing down trees, just plowing them over. Okay. So this is entry number 12. I was actually entry number 11. Okay, so entry number 12. This is a hover tank, but I love that decoration on the side. Makes it look like it's actually a tracked tank. And over the edge. Oh, wait. No, that was user error. As I've mentioned in the previous video on stuff, these things don't fly, they hover. And so if I don't keep them hovering off that vertical surface, they'll fall. They've got to think that they're hovering. Okay, so let's see. Doing this in the shadow is not easy, but if I had to choose between which one was going to be shadow, it would be the back. Because in the front, I want to be able to see the gradients, to be able to tell which gradient I've actually hit. Okay, I'm on. This is... I know... I feel like... should be climbing, but I just didn't have it positioned right. Oh, here we go. We're going off. Okay. Well, this one has boosters. We're currently at 3 meters, so let's go ahead. Pull forward here. Hit the booster. And we didn't even clear a meter. We didn't get up to 4 meters, so it's not even a meter above. So, now, as I said, I just have a desire. I've got that blade on the front. Something's got to get mowed over. I've got to hit something. Come on, will there be any satisfaction here? Any satisfaction? I don't know. Come on. Maybe I need to be on Aqua or something with those, but they have bigger trees. Maybe I could really knock something down there. Maybe I'm just in the wrong place. Maybe I'm just in the wrong place. I want to knock down some trees. I feel so let down. Oh, it is knocking down trees. I just wasn't noticing it very well. Oh, cool. Well, I'm guessing it's probably I'm knocking down the first tree or something like that, and therefore it doesn't seem like I'm not sure exactly how it's working. Yeah. I'll have my fun. I'd probably have a little more satisfaction hitting the big trees on Aqua, but for now, I'll take it. I think I'm going to try to navigate between a couple of these tanks. There we go. Okay, let's... Come on, please be stopped. Please be stopped. No? Oh, there we go, finally. I'm going to go take a peek at the next one. Okay. That's interesting. Some of the lighting around the edges there. Oh, that is the back of the cockpit. Interesting. I think this is one of the ones I hadn't really looked at yet. But I'm not going to waste, I haven't been spending a whole lot of time looking at the, just kind of looking at them a little bit here, but not a whole lot of time looking at this. And so I'm not going to waste your whole lot of time on this one, just a favorite because I hadn't really looked at it before. Oh, I am loving some of the acceleration on this thing. But let's put it to the test. Up the ramp we go. Make sure we keep hovering. Hovering. Oh. She'll climb there, but I'm getting the feeling that... Oh. She is climbing the vertical. That must have been just user error that I wasn't climbing it earlier. As I said, if I'm not actually hovering off that vertical surface, that will fail. And we're up over the top. Oh, here we go. Got ourselves a nice, good landing down here. Let's see. Maybe raising our hover height to 3 meters. Oh, I almost, if I could just get the front to tip a little bit more, just a little bit more. Oh, come on. Oh, I feel like I could get it done if I could just play this game a little bit better. Oh, so close. feel like it could climb that vertical. I feel like it could climb that wall, but I'm just not getting it. So I'm not sure if that's a user failure or if it can't make the transition. Just gets close to. It's hard to say. Could be just user error. Oops. Whoa. Watch where you're going, Dan. Okay, we're at 3 meters. Let's do a boost. Boost. Oh, we got at least a meter. I want to say it's a little bit more than that. How much exactly, I'm not entirely sure. But we did clear a meter. Okay. Let's move on to the next one that has some nice lighting effects, for at least from here it looks like it. There we go. Oh, look at that. No, I'm not exactly sure what effect they were going for here, but the thought that goes through my mind is like, this could be a tank from Tron. Well, not in as much as their tanks looked a bit different than this, but in as much as they have the light cycles and the various vehicles with that sort of effect going on. That's what it makes me think of. I'm like, very beautiful. Just because I can think of a particular movie that reminds me a bit of. Oh, yes. And I have to admit, all this lighting effect on the interior is not exactly breaking that impression for me. Kind of seems consistent. But it's also consistent with the exterior, so even if that's not what they're going for, it does have a consistent theme there. Okay. Got a nice view from the cockpit. Okay. We're going to go take this one for the ramp. Oh, come on. We're picking this up here. Oh, come on. Oh, am I on top of the ramp? Was that... Oh, dear. I feel like I fell off the ramp. And my goal was to fall off the ramp. But, okay. This, I'm going to have to... Okay. So I was able to climb the vertical portion of the ramp, but I don't think... Yeah, the other one was really taunting me, feeling like I should be able to pull it off to climb that wall. But this one, I just couldn't seem... What? I can raise the front end here. Let's go. I'm going to take that one more shot at that. Let's see if I can get the front end to get up on that wall. Because I feel like if I could just get the front end on the wall, it will climb. Okay. Yep. It is climbing. It is climbing. It is climbing. It is climbing. Okay. .3. Oh, am I slowing down? Not going very fast up the wall, but I am going up the wall. 2.2 meters per second. Oh, but I'm going up so slow I don't have momentum to try to launch off the top of the wall. So when I was hitting the top there and my forward hover engines were breaking contact, well, I had the same problem I've had with a few others. Oh wait, there's no boosters here. Yeah, no boosters here. Okay. So, am I... Entry 14. So I only have 2 more to go to get these 8 done. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Oh, going the wrong way, wrong way. Okay, over here. I want to say that this is based off of a very popular model online. I could be wrong, but I have want to say this is by the same maker and has many of the same appearances outwards. This stuff. So I'm going to guess that the inside it might be very similar. Oh, let's take a peek around. I really didn't take a peek earlier at this thing. Oh, I like some of the effects. Makes me wonder what's behind there. Cargo box, but done up in that color makes it almost look like a medic kit. That markings around it. Cool. Got lift off. Okay. I want to say this tank is a little bit smaller and lighter than some of the others. Not to be underestimated, I think. Oh, and it is climbing quite well. Other than when I, don't properly have it hover, but that's user error, not. Okay, and I think we're gonna climb this quite easily. And away we go. Whoop. Over the top and proceed to fall. I actually came down off the ramp that way. Oh. And there's no boosters on this thing. Okay, so let's go ahead. Not the smallest entry, but very beautiful. Oops. Motion sensor, and I was trying to manually open it, getting in my own way. Okay. Very beautiful. Some of the elements about this make me think of the bullfrog over there, the one I was in the previous video claiming that it looked like had claws, at least visually to me, but also quite different and stuff. As I said, this is There is a, I want to say it's by the same builder, some very, I believe they are very popular tanks online. So now this, the top here is open because I was taking a peek at it earlier. I think this is the one I was looking at. The stuff I was taking a peek at it earlier, and I just left the top open. So, yes. Okay. There is going to be an HV, not in this video, but in a future one. I'm going to look at one. I've already looked at it, and it has some internal flaws. And one of the things I wish it had was a working interior ramp to the second floor. And this here, I'm like, this is what I wished it had. Like, that is beautiful. Ammunition, turret control, stuff. Oh, we got a bunch of switches here. Weapon control, blue plasma spread, missile turrets, gray minigun turrets. It seems like it'd be marking where you're supposed to take your ammunition. Bridge access ramp. Oh, so far to shut that off. Close off the ramps. Some passenger seats. Another pilot seat there. Oh, look, some more passenger seats for the other way. Some deco elements. Oh, very nice. Well, that's it. Let's go ahead. Control panel P, world map M. Just some basic references. The external camera, which would be V. Okay. The other one, I somehow accidentally got myself the camera into free motion, but I am no expert at these things, so I did not. It's not a thing I normally play with, so it's not something I was familiar with. Now I'm wishing I knew how to do that, because I am looking at this thing and I'm like, this camera view from behind the vessel is not working for me, and I think we've stopped climbing the ramp. But I think what they had done with this one, which was kind of cool, is they designed it well, because I think it's this one, for skimming the water. That you could get good speed as long as you didn't submerge it too far. And it would actually look like a boat or a battleship. Maybe it's a different one, entry. But I wanted to say it was this one. Not a test I'm going to do myself. Partly because I'm a little more paranoid about the water. My experiences with HV and water has not been pleasant. Usually I end up trying to get my HV out of the water as soon as I can, so that I can get back about my business. So yeah. Okay. Well, that one did not get all the way up the ramp. I'd probably have to review the video to see exactly how far it went out. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to learn that free motion camera view if I really wanted to get a better picture of that. And also if I'm going to do more of these videos in the future in case I get caught with that again, or maybe some of those angles are better. So yeah, that gets me the next 8, and I think that's all I am going to do tonight. Then another time I will probably run a few more of these up the ramps, and at some point it would be like my wish and desire to put together a course that I can then take these things through and wreck them. See just how much they can do. Okay. Well, let's see. I guess the next point is to end this video and try uploading them. Well, have yourselves a good day, and myself a good night. Checking out.